Right now, you don't need to push. You don't need to figure anything out with clenched teeth. Let your shoulders drop a little, as if you're setting down a bag you've been carrying too long. Beneath all the thinking and planning and trying, there is a quiet part of you that already knows how to receive. So many people believe they have to strain for what they desire. They believe that if they relax, they'll lose momentum. If they stop worrying, they'll stop caring. And sweetheart, that is such a heavy way to live. Here's the gentle twist. A calm mind doesn't make you passive. It makes you clear. And clarity has a kind of magnetism. When your inner waters settle, life can finally reflect back to you what you've been calling in. Let's begin with something you can feel immediately, not as a test, just as an invitation. Take a slow breath in through your nose, letting it fill your belly first, then your chest, and now exhale through your mouth like you're fogging a window, releasing what you don't need to carry right now. Do that again. In gently, out slowly. As you breathe, notice where your mind tends to grip. Maybe it's your forehead, maybe it's your jaw, maybe it's your chest or your stomach. Without judging yourself, place a little kindness there, like a warm cloth over a tight muscle. The message is simple. You are safe enough to soften. When your nervous system believes you're safe, your energy stops scattering. You stop trying to wrestle the future into place. And in that softness, something begins to align. You've seen this, even if you didn't call it anything spiritual. Think of a time you tried so hard to make something happen, an outcome, a relationship, a decision. The harder you pushed, the heavier it felt. The mind can be like a hand squeezing sand. The tighter it grips, the more slips through. Now remember a time when something good arrived, almost effortlessly, right after you finally decided, I can't force this. A solution came on a walk in the shower while washing dishes. That isn't random. That's space. Calm is space. And if your mind has been racing, it doesn't mean you're broken. It often means you learned that vigilance equals safety. Maybe you grew up reading moods, trying to keep peace, trying to be good, so nothing exploded. Maybe life simply surprised you enough that you started believing you have to control everything to stay okay. If any of that is true, take a breath. You are not in trouble. You are not behind. Your sensitivity is a gift, not a burden. Now, attract what you desire without effort. Doesn't mean you never take steps. It means you stop taking steps from panic. You stop trying to outrun fear by doing more. You shift from forcing to allowing, from strain to alignment. Effortless attraction feels like this. Your thoughts are quieter, your body is softer, and you take small, clear actions that feel natural. Forced chasing feels like this. Your chest is tight, your mind is loud, and even good actions feel like punishment. One of the fastest ways to calm the mind is to return to the present moment, not as an idea, but as sensation. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice where your body touches the chair, the bed, the floor. Notice the weight of your hands. You don't have to change anything, just notice. The mind time travels, but the body lives here, and the body is your doorway back to peace. Maybe you've experienced this. You send a message to someone you care about, and then your mind starts circling. Did I say the right thing? What if they're upset? And your hand keeps reaching for your phone like it's a lifeline. You refresh, you check, you refresh again. You might think you're looking for a reply, but you're really looking for relief. And here's what's interesting. Relief doesn't come from the reply. Relief comes from the place inside you that remembers, I am okay either way. When you give yourself that, you stop broadcasting need. You begin broadcasting something softer and stronger. I am already worthy, and I welcome what is meant for me. Maybe this shows up in work or money too. Perhaps you're trying to create more stability, and you find yourself staring at numbers late at night, running scenarios, bracing for the worst. You might tell yourself you're being responsible, but your body is curled around fear, and fear makes everything feel urgent. If you've done this, place a little compassion on that part of you. It's trying to protect you, and then offer it a new message. We can be wise without being scared. You can still plan. You can still learn. You can still take action. But notice the difference between planning from calm and planning from panic. Planning from calm feels like, let me look at this clearly and choose my next step. Planning from panic feels like, if I don't solve it tonight, I won't be okay. Your body knows which one you're in. Your breath gets shallow. Your shoulders creep up. So whenever you notice that, come back to one slow inhale and one long exhale, and let your body remember, I can, and handle this one calm step at a time, and I am safe right now. Sometimes the calm mind attracts what you desire simply because it stops pushing away support. When you're anxious, you may miss the simple opportunity because you're scanning for danger. Calm makes you available. Calm makes you receptive. Calm helps you recognize the door when it opens. And if you're the kind of person who has carried a lot on your own, receiving might feel unfamiliar. You might even feel guilty when life gets easier, like you should be doing more. If that's you, hear this gently. You are allowed to be supported. Receiving is not weakness. Receiving is wisdom. Let's deepen the practice gently, like turning down a dimmer switch. Take another slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine the breath washing down the inside of your body. Let it soften your forehead. Let it soften behind your eyes. Let it loosen your jaw. Let it unhook your shoulders. If you'd like, place one hand over your heart and the other over your lower belly. Feel the steady truth of your own presence. You are here. And in this moment, you are allowed to be gentle with yourself. Quietly in your mind, say, I release the need to force. I release the need to rush. I am safe to receive. I am worthy now. Even if your mind argues, your body hears the intention. This is how you calm the mind, not by fighting thoughts, but by giving your system a new message. Not be quiet, but thank you, and we're safe now. So when a thought shows up, what if it doesn't happen? What if I choose wrong? You don't have to wrestle it. You can say, oh, hello, you're trying to protect me. And then return to your breath. Return to sensation. Over time, the mind learns it doesn't have to shout to be heard. As the mind calms, your desires feel different. They stop feeling like emergencies. They start feeling like invitations. And calm changes what you notice. When you're frantic, you miss the small openings. But when you're steady, you see them. An idea in a conversation, a sudden nudge to reach out, a simple next step that feels right in your body. You are allowed to trust those gentle taps. Imagine you're standing beside a lake. If the water is stormy, the surface is broken, and you can't see what's beneath. But when the wind eases, the lake becomes a mirror. Your mind is like that. You don't have to drain the lake. You don't have to fight the wind. You simply allow the settling, and then you can see. Your desire isn't something outside you that you must chase. It's more like a seed that wants to sprout. You don't pull it out of the soil. You create conditions: water, light, patience. Calm is water. Self-trust is light. And your worthiness is the soil you stand on. So much effort comes from a hidden belief: if I don't strain, I don't deserve it. Maybe you notice that when things start going well, a part of you gets uneasy. Ease can feel unfamiliar if you grew up around stress. Your system may call stress normal, even when it's painful. So here is a new permissive, Ian. You are allowed to let it be easier than you expected. You are allowed to receive without proving. You are allowed to have good things and still be a good person. Take a breath and let that land. Perhaps you've been wanting love or deeper connection, and you've tried to do everything right. You watch what you say. You over-edit your messages. You worry about being too much or not enough. And you might catch yourself trying to be chosen. But love isn't a prize for perfect behavior. Love is a resonance. When you calm your mind, you stop performing. You start showing up as yourself. And that honesty, soft, grounded, real, is what creates true connection. And if you're in a season of waiting, where it feels like what you want isn't here yet, remember this: waiting doesn't have to be tense. Waiting can be fertile. A seed spends time underground. It's not failing, it's forming. You are allowed to be forming. Now, let's talk about the subconscious in a simple, friendly way. Your subconscious is like a loyal assistant. It follows the instructions you repeat, especially the emotional ones. If you repeatedly live in, I must hurry, I must worry, I must control, your system takes that as truth, and it keeps recreating urgency. But if you repeatedly practice, I am safe, I am supported, I can take one calm step, Your system begins to build a new home inside you. This is reprogramming, not with force, but with repetition and love. So when you say, I release the need to force, you're not trying to convince your mind in a single moment. You're teaching your whole being a new pattern. You're showing your body a new way to exist. And that changes the energy you carry into every conversation, every choice, every opportunity. Let me offer you another tender scenario. Perhaps you're standing at the edge of a decision. You can feel a new direction calling you, but you keep waiting to be 100% certain. You keep researching, asking, delaying. You might think you're being careful, but underneath, you're afraid of making the wrong move. The mind, when it's afraid, wants guarantees. But your life is not a math problem. It's a relationship. You learn by walking. And very often, the next step becomes obvious only after you take the gentle step that's available right now. You are allowed to choose with the information you have. You are allowed to adjust. You are allowed to be guided as you go. If you want to bring this calm into your evenings, here's a soft way to close the day. When you lay down, let the bed hold your weight completely. Imagine your thoughts as little birds that have been flying all day. You don't need to chase them. You simply offer them a branch. The branch is your breath. In and out, and in and out. Each exhale is a place to land. Picture a gentle light in the center of your chest, warm like sunrise through a window. With each breath, it spreads a little farther through your ribs, your shoulders, your belly, your hips. Not forcing anything to change, just bringing softness where there has been effort. And you can whisper, I did enough for today. I am enough for today. And even if your mind questions it, let your body receive the kindness. This is the state that supports what you desire. It's not dramatic. It's calm, steady, open. It's the feeling of being aligned with yourself. And from that place, life can rearrange in quiet, surprising ways. Here's a simple daily return. Whenever you notice spiraling, overthinking, comparing, replaying, pause and do 3 things. Feel your feet or your seat. Take 1 slow breath and lengthen the exhale. Say 1 kind sentence. I'm here. I'm safe. I can take 1 gentle step. Over time, this becomes your new default. You're also learning the difference between controlling and intending. Controlling says, it must happen this way, at this pace, or I'm not okay. Intending says, this is what I desire, and I'm open to the best way it can come. Control is tight. Intention is spacious. Spaciousness is where life moves. And yes, a part of you might whisper, but what if I calm down and nothing happens? I hear that. The fear under effort is often, if I stop pushing, I'll be forgotten. So let this be a steady truth. Your calm does not erase your desire. It refines it. It clears away the static so you can hear what's real. Sometimes calm shows you a truer desire. Sometimes it helps what you want arrive in a kinder, healthier shape than your anxious mind could have planned. You're allowed to be surprised by goodness. Now let's add one more gentle layer, seeing what's already okay. When the mind is noisy, it scans for what's missing. That's an old job, detect problems. But you can train it to also see what's here. Name 3 small things that are okay right now. Let them be simple. Let them be real. Let them soften you. If you've been waiting for clarity, remember, clarity often arrives after stillness, not before it. Like snow settling in a shaken globe, if you keep shaking, more searching, more comparing, the snow never settles. But if you set it down, the picture appears. So give yourself the gift of setting it down, even briefly. Ask within, what is the kindest next step? Not the biggest step, not the step that proves your worth, the kindest one. Then listen for the smallest answer. The soul speaks softly. Calm helps you hear it. And let's be clear, effort isn't the enemy. Strain is. There's a clean kind of effort, like tending a garden, practicing a skill, showing up with respect for yourself. Strain is effort mixed with fear. That's what you're releasing. So if you take a step today, let it be a step your nervous system can hold. A step that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Small, steady, kind. And then let the outcome breathe. Don't stalk the seed. Trust the unseen work beneath the soil. Here are a few gentle reminders you can carry. I am willing to be calm. I am open to receiving. I do not need to force what is meant for me. I take inspired action from peace. Life can meet me halfway. It is safe to let things be simpler. Perhaps you've noticed how hard it can be to receive even a compliment. Someone says something kind about you, and your first impulse is to brush it off, to laugh, to explain it away, to point to your flaws. That tiny moment matters because receiving is a muscle, and you can strengthen it gently. Next time a kind word comes your way, try this. Breathe in, soften your belly, and simply say, "Thank you." Let the kindness land for 2 full seconds. Feel what it's like to be seen without scrambling. This is not vanity. This is healing. When you can receive a small thing, your system becomes more available for the bigger things you desire. And if you stumble, that's okay. You're learning a new language, the language of ease. And if emotion rises when you get quiet, let it rise. Overthinking can be a way of not feeling. If grief, anger, or disappointment shows up, you can breathe and say, "It's okay to feel this." Feeling is not a failure. Feeling is a clearing, and clearing makes room. You don't have to be positive all the time to be powerful. Calm isn't pretending. Calm is honesty without drama. You can have a hard day and still be guided. You can feel uncertain and still be worthy. Your wholeness is what attracts, not perfection. In the coming days, you may notice subtle shifts. Maybe you sleep a little deeper. Maybe you catch yourself mid-spiral and choose one slow breath instead. Maybe you feel a quiet confidence returning, like a light turning on in a room you forgot you had. Let that count. Let that be evidence that you are changing. And now, one last return you can use any time. Soften behind your eyes. Exhale as if you're releasing something your body has been holding. Ask, what would it feel like to let life help me? You don't have to answer. You might just feel a tiny opening, a small maybe, and maybe is enough to begin. Because what you desire doesn't need your exhaustion. It benefits when you are well. It meets you when you stop pushing it away with fear. Take one more breath with me. In, soft and steady. Out, long and releasing. And as a blessing to yourself, I trust the timing of my life. I trust my inner guidance. I am worthy of ease. I welcome what is meant for me. If you'd like to keep walking this gentle path, come back to these words whenever you need them, like coming home to a familiar room. For now, let the day loosen its grip. Let your mind settle. Let your heart feel held. You are not alone. You are supported, and you are already closer than you think.